That video would be so much better with some fucking audio. Alright, welcome to the Salt Machine Podcast. I'm Tyler, joined by...
Oh, Justin.
There we go, sweetheart. And
I thought you were gonna do it.
you wanted to change, so instead of Officer Doofy, now you're the Turd.
Fantastic. That's massive upgrade there.
I
Thanks.
thought you'd like that. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You know, looking out for you, bro.
Always. All right.
So, I think, was it like 2 episodes ago, I was talking about Assassin's Creed, like the new Assassin's Creed game, and how I wasn't going to buy it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I bought
Last
it.
week or week prior.
I bought it.
Nice. How is it? Garbage?
Okay, so the game itself, number one, it doesn't feel like a fucking Assassin's Creed game. I know they went to this more RPG style in the last game, but I didn't fucking play that one, so this is kind of new to me. It doesn't feel like Assassin's Creed. I mean, you can still, assassinate people.
Well, that's
You
fun.
can still fucking parkour up and down the building. Speaking of which, I don't know, did you ever play any of the Assassin's Creed games?
Oh, God, it's been fucking forever. Really long time ago.
But, like, remember when, like, climbing buildings was actually, like, hard to do, or, like, you felt like you accomplished something in that fucking game?
Not really.
I mean, like, where it wasn't just, oh, you're running straight up the building. No, it's, like, slow, methodical. Okay, there's the next ledge, and you just kind of jump over to it. Or you hop over to it. Like, like right
I don't know.
now, with this one,
Yeah.
you just fucking, like, run straight up the fucking building. Like, at this point, just fucking have them walk up it.
Do
I
they
know that's a
still...
stupid thing to bitch about, but it's just kind of odd how, as the
Yeah,
game went
no, I
on,
gotcha.
that aspect of the game just became easier and easier. Like in the first
Does
one, it was like slow as shit to climb a building. You spend like fucking 2 minutes doing that.
Maybe that's why they changed it. I don't know. I remember the game had terrible clipping issues when I played it.
It still
Like,
does. The
oh,
series,
okay,
that's
good.
just a fucking constant throughout the series. Speaking of which, I
Okay.
should get into some of the cool glitches I found in this game. Uh, Number one, fucking, like, on the ship boarding, like, you can board ships, you can attack pirates, attack fucking merchant ships. And
That's
when
dope.
you board them, you kill all the crew, and then you can loot chests and shit on the ship.
Yeah.
Really cool. Unless the game glitches out. So you can knock the guys into the water, but sometimes they'll clip back into the ship and won't die. And you can't drive in and, like, swing your sword at them and kill them. So they're, like, in the fucking ship, but you can't hit them and you can't do anything. So you can't loot the fucking chest. The only thing you can do is jump back on your ship and cancel the boarding and just blow their ship up. But half the reason, to board the ship is you get extra ship by doing that. That's happened to me twice now. Twice.
Huh.
And it's not just like one guy. It's been like 3 or 4 fucking guys stuck in the ship. It's
That seems like a pain in the ass.
it's so stupid. But the game itself is actually kind of fun. I mean, it's fun in a very just mind-numbing way, but it's fun. But the
That's
only
good.
reason it became fun is, and I'm gonna go ahead and admit I'm part of the problem in gaming now because I spent $10 on a fucking booster to level up faster.
Oh yeah, that's a no-no, man.
Well, and I fucking take full
That's
responsibility for that, but I already spent the money and I played like 4 hours of the game and I was only like level 6 or some shit.
yeah.
So I bought the booster and then I restarted the game. After I
Was it
restarted
worth
the
it
game.
though?
Oh, okay, so when I left the first island, I was only like level 6. No, I wasn't even level 6. I think it was only like level 5. The second time going through, I was like level 10 already. That's a pretty big fucking jump. And I was like doing all the little side missions and shit to try to level up the first run through. And why is that even an option? Why do I have to spend $10, $10 to make the game better? $10 more to make the game better. Why can't I just buy the $60 game and the game be fucking fine there? I don't get that.
It's just where we're at, man.
I know. I hate
It
that's where we're
sucks,
at
but it's.
though.
Yep, me too. Fully agree.
So we're gonna start a new segment today, which I think is gonna be fucking crackerjack.
Yep, these were handpicked for you
Yeah,
guys. So
handpicked.
hopefully you enjoy them.
The fucking best Steam reviews we can find. So first one is for WWE 2K16. I'm gonna read it real quick. Large sweaty dudes grabbing each other, mount the other guy to win. There's also lady wrestlers, but that's gay. Very helpful, very helpful information. That's recommended, by the way. The rest of these are going to be from a game called Save Jesus. All right, first one. I saved Jesus from the liberals. Thank God.
I think we all need saving. Never mind. Never mind.
I saved Jesus, but I'm probably still going to hell.
We all.
At least we don't have to wait 3 days for him to respawn.
That's pretty good.
That's my favorite
That's
one.
I think that's my favorite too.
Within 2 hours, I managed to beat the game, lose my will to live, and permanently damage my mental health. This is not a review. This is a cry for help. Also, pretty good. And then the last one, you have 3 options. Don't buy this game and go to hell. Buy this game, play it, then go to hell for killing Jesus. Option 3, buy this game, play it, not kill Jesus, then go to hell for the mass murder of pixelated Romans. Real damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's still recommended, though.
That is a recommended?
That is a They were all recommended. They were all
Fantastic.
recommended. I think the winner, though, in my book, is the... I don't know, actually. I would say the... I saved Jesus, but I'm still probably going to hell. But it's close. Great comment, or not great comments, great fucking reviews. Very helpful. I learned a lot from them.
I did too. That was fantastic. We're going to try to do that every week. We'll try to find something.
Yeah,
Decent.
that segment will probably
Mix it up.
die next week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, it's going to be fine. We're probably going to kill it.
We
Anyway.
won't even kill it. We'll just fucking forget to do it.
Yeah,
That's
one of the
exactly
two.
what the fuck's gonna happen. No, that is what's gonna happen. I know. All right, so RTX 2070 launched, and we haven't really talked about the RTX series since the first fucking episode, have we? I don't remember.
First or second, something like that.
I think it's time to revisit that and kind of revise what we said, because when we first when we first talked about it, we were mostly positive about, oh yeah, they're going to be expensive, but look what it can do. Well, we're now, what, 2 months in? Or a month in?
Yeah, roughly.
And there are still no games that use ray tracing?
That's probably the biggest problem right now, yeah. So the 2080 upgrade is pretty significant. It's what, like 50% roughly, right?
No,
From the 1080?
So from the 1080 Ti to the 2080 Ti, you're looking about 25-30% upgrade. But then
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah. But then you're paying
Yeah,
like
something like that.
60% more. And I actually have the
Right.
prices pulled up right here. We'll find... Okay, so we'll even go for the MSI Gaming X 1080 Ti for $739.
Okay.
Now I need to find a 2080 Ti. The bad thing is I've been selling like hella good, like hella well
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, no, there.
Like
Well, the
way
thing
better
is-
than I expected.
The thing is, you're paying for this ray tracing technology, right? And when it was released, it was supposed to be released with a couple games alongside of it that were going to utilize it and have many more added fairly quickly, to take effect of this new fantastic ray tracing thing that they did, right? But that hasn't happened, and the price hasn't. I mean, the price isn't going to come down, but
No.
it's kind of a shit situation because you're like, all right, got this cool thing, can't utilize it, can't
Yeah.
use the fucking shit that
Yeah,
we
the
paid
main
for.
reason I bought this thing, I can't do anything with. Like that's a fucking bitch situation to be in. Imagine buying
Yeah,
that fucker and then being like, "All right, now for those ray tracing games."
yeah, I know it's
Whenever
early
they get
still.
here.
Like shit'll
Well,
probably
yeah, but
it's gonna change eventually, but
no. Here's why this is important though. Nvidia completely fucked this launch. This should
they
not have
did.
been launched without the fucking games. They
I
should have been
agree,
like,
100%.
PUBG, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. When are you guys gonna have this ready? Okay, cool. That's when we're gonna release these. Because releasing these into the wild without the fucking main feature being relevant, that's so dumb. It's so fucking short, like, so short-sighted. Yeah, everyone's gonna be excited, and again, they've sold well for some fucking reason. I don't know. I don't know why you would buy that with, like, there's no fucking games out right now that can utilize the ray tracing capabilities. There's gonna be some, we think, eventually, but
Yeah,
they're
at
not
some
out yet.
point.
I don't know. So, but at least the RTX 2080 Ti, if you do spend the money for that, which I don't really recommend, but if you do, you are going to get the fastest and best gaming GPU available. If money's not an issue, that's like the way to go. But there's way better bang for your buck, especially when you start looking at like the 2080 versus the 1080 Ti, because the 2080 1080 Ti are very comparable. They almost, I think the 2080 barely beats the 1080 Ti, and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
$100 more
yeah.
for the 2080. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have
you
a
can find
benchmark
1080
for
Ti's
right
for like
now.
$700. I'm looking at one right now. Zotac GTX 1080 Ti, $700. A little bit further up, Gigabyte Aurora's GeForce RTX 2080, $850 or $860. That is a huge fucking jump. And yes, the Aurora's is a better card than just the Zotac. But
Yeah, it is.
still, I mean that's a little fucking ridiculous. And then with the fucking RTX 2070, I have this question of why does it even fucking exist? Because
Yeah, I haven't
it
even.
performs the like almost identical to the fucking 1080. It outperforms it slightly.
Well, it has ray tracing on it though. Does it? Does it not?
It has ray tracing, but there's nothing that uses ray tracing, and we
Well,
don't
when
know.
ray tracing comes out, that'll be relevant though.
Well,
That
yeah,
like
that will be
that'll,
relevant then, but then you have to ask the question of, well, how good is the ray tracing going to be on the fucking 2070? We don't have the numbers yet. Like, you're playing a
yeah,
guessing game. I'm guessing ray tracing on the 2070 is going to be worth it. It might not be. You might have to
it
buy
might
the
not.
2080.
And
Then you're
yeah,
fucked.
and with the way that and I know they were early benchmarks, the benchmarks that we did look at, but when ray tracing was enabled, it didn't. The frames weren't looking great.
No.
Let's like you took a hit.
Yeah.
You felt it. So I mean,
There's
I don't know.
To
It's
me, there is a giant question mark on if the RTX 2070 deserves to exist.
uh it's that's not the only piece of hardware out there like that. There's
Yeah, and
many others, but
we'll get to a new one here in a little bit.
yeah.
But we're looking at prices here. So the Asus Dual GeForce RTX 2070, $589.99. Right next to it, I'm looking at the MSI GeForce GTX 1080 for $519.99. So the question is, at what point does the future the possible future fucking relevance of ray tracing start factoring in here. Is it $50? Is it $100? Is it
I
worth?
guess
Is it
it's really
worth
going to
it?
depend on the person, honestly. Like,
But
uh,
but here's the thing. This is actually the
are you asking
cheapest.
my opinion?
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
asking your opinion.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't. I'm not gonna do it anytime soon. Like, I'm not gonna fuck with it. There's not games out yet. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not about it. Not really.
So
Regardless of the price, like the price difference is too much. Like, I'm not in the market for a new card right now. I'm running everything that I have in 4K at 60 plus frames, and until I get a better monitor, there's no point in fucking upgrading. So I mean, the 2080, there's just no place for it for me. Like, I don't have a. It's fucking pointless.
yeah, I mean, the bad thing again is like a lot of the 2070s are going to actually cost around $600.
Yeah.
So odds are you're going to run into about $100 difference on average between a 2070 and a 1080. And then you're also running into the fact that I could just save a little bit more and buy a fucking 1080 Ti, which will beat the fucking 2070. Again, it doesn't have ray tracing like you mentioned earlier, but right now nothing has ray tracing technically.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where I'm sitting on this issue. I'm not budging until shit happens. So
And and
until we come up
maybe
with.
and maybe in like 2 or 3 months we'll come back and say, you know what, ray tracing was worth it. It was a smart buy, but right now I'm not seeing it. Like I don't think. I think the 2070 especially is in this weird spot. I don't know. There's just not there's nothing that can really convince me to fucking buy a 2070 over a 1080 Ti right now. I don't think the 2070 is going to be good enough at ray tracing to begin with. That's just me pulling a guess out of my ass, though. We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to better benchmarks when more games are supported and we have actual data. So until then,
Which fuck no, who knows when the hell that's going to be. So, another thing that launched this week, the ninth generation Intel processors. Don't get too excited, they're just fucking Coffee Lake refreshes. So the main fucking one that launched, or I guess a flagship you could say, was the i9 9900K. So the recommended customer price is about $500. It's got a base frequency at 3.6 and a turbo frequency at 5. It's got 8 cores, 16 threads. One thing I have heard quite a bit from reviewers is that it gets hot. Like hella hot. Like hot as shit. Like, oh my god, it's about to die hot. So even though it's unlocked and you could overclock it, odds are you're not doing that anyway. And then at the price range, there's not enough gain over the 8700K to justify a gamer buying it. But I don't know, maybe it's for somebody. I'm not sure who the hell would want this. Because you could probably save like 100, $200 and buy like a fucking Gen 1 Threadripper, which would kick its ass.
yeah, the Threadrippers are fucking amazing processors, and they're killing everything, right? Well, the 2850 is. The 2850 is fucking off the charts on all the benchmarks that I've seen.
But,
And
that's more workstation.
it is. Yeah, it is. A lot of that is processing videos and, like high-end media content. But numbers are numbers on. Well, I don't know. I say that, but I guess it really. But if you're gonna look at it from that perspective, do you need anything more than like a 7600K? Really? Like,
Probably not.
yeah.
Another thing you gotta again, I don't understand the marketing by Intel because they marketed the i9 9900K as the world's best, fastest gaming processor, and technically it is.
Yeah.
Technically. What gamer's buying that though?
Uh, Not this guy. I can't think of anybody. Like it
You're
is
not getting a.
technically correct,
Yeah, it's
you know,
technically
but
correct. It's
it's
technically better than
that's
the.
the i9 is not meant for gaming in the first place. The i7 is for high-end gaming. The i5 is for gaming. The i5 is made for 1080p max settings. You know, like that's your go-to. Like if you're moving into 4K, okay, i7. i9 is not for gaming. It's made specifically for content production,
Yeah.
engineering, fucking CAD, like computer-aided design for people who live in a box. Uh, it's just a whole nother realm of things. Like you're not gonna. It's for a whole nother customer base. So I don't understand why they're marketing towards gaming because it doesn't make sense, and they should know that. I don't know. I feel like it's.
It's another thing.
Uh,
So I'm looking at Newegg. Number one, the i9's already sold out. So apparently we're just dumb. Not a shocker
what's
though.
okay?
It is selling for $579.99.
How much?
$579.99.
That's pretty high compared to the. Well, then again, I guess it depends what you're comparing it to. So I mean, I don't know.
For this
I don't
price
see.
though, you could save up and get a better processor.
Yeah, or a better graphics card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
No, well, you can like if you're let's say you're fucking making a workstation,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
you
Yeah.
can save up and get a fucking better processor than this. Maybe look at
Yeah.
the Threadripper. Maybe not a fucking new the Threadripper 2, but like a fucking Threadripper 1 would even be an upgrade over this.
Yeah, it
The
would.
the i7 9700K is still you can still buy this one. It's not sold out yet, but it's selling for $420 basically. And it's basically got the same everything as the i9, just turbo to 4.9, and it's got hyper threading disabled, so it's 8 cores, 8 threads. Did I mention that the i9 9900K is 8 threads, 16 core, or 8
You
cores,
didn't, but
16 threads?
it is eight cores, 16 threads. Yeah.
Okay, then
Uh,
the
so
i5,
on-
real quick. No one gives a shit about the i5. Okay,
no.
you can go.
Well, yeah. Basically, all I was gonna say was like the shit that I was looking at. I think it was $100 cheaper for the I set the 97. What the fuck is it? What are
It's
the
the
numbers?
i7
Too many.
9700K.
Too many. i7 9700K. Jesus Christ. That shit
English
is about 100
hard.
is about $100 cheaper. But I mean, even if you're doing production content, the benchmark differences between the two was marginal at best. So
Well,
I mean,
I mean, if
I'd
price is
probably
real,
go with that one
if
if
if like
price is an issue.
if
Like,
price is an issue, just go Ryzen.
yeah, yeah. Again,
Just go
that's my next
Ryzen.
point. Go Ryzen, and you're good either way. Like you're gonna be better off on both ends of it. So
Again, is
Threadripper's
it
where
the
it's at,
best? Is it the
and
best fucking gaming CPU? Technically, yes, it is. But for that price, there are better things you can spend your money on. It's not enough of an upgrade over the 8700K to justify buying this.
no, you don't. You don't need fucking
And
not for anything we have right now.
well,
You,
it also depends on
you
okay,
don't.
what resolution are you playing on? If you're buying this for game, because if you're playing it like 4K, it doesn't fucking matter. 4K is a great equalizer. It's all about GPU at that point.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, shit, we saw that what like a week or so ago when we were benchmarking our PCs. You were getting
Yeah.
shit on
at 1080p and fucking 2K, and then you switch to 4K, and all of a sudden you were getting the marks that you should be getting with your GPU.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of you that don't know how that works, basically your CPU, when you benchmark it against another, the CPU is basically just taking the physics into accountability. So, I mean, depending on what you play, it the graphics card's doing 90% of the fucking workload anyway. So, moving from 1080p to 4K, you're not increasing the amount of physics, you're just increasing the amount of pixels.
Yeah.
So your graphics card is the only thing that really matters at that point. Your CPU is not going to bog it any more than it would at 1080 or 720 for that fucking matter. Hey, marginal differences, but in the scheme of things, doesn't fucking matter. So, yeah, I know what you're getting at, and 8K is just going to push that further when we reach that point. So,
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be
I just
completely CPU reliant at that point.
I just do not understand the CPU, the marketing behind it. I understand it if they were trying to gear it towards a workstation, but that
Yeah.
was not the marketing. They were clearly trying to say this is a gaming CPU.
It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know. And there was also a lot of controversy
About the way they did the testing?
Yes.
Are we going to talk about that?
Yes, let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we missed the train on it, really, but I think it's a fucking great thing
Yeah.
to talk about. And it wasn't... So, Intel, they went to Principal Technologies for them to benchmark the Core i9 9700 or 9900K and the 9700K versus the A700K and all the Ryzen CPUs. Spoiler alert, the testing was very flawed. First off, they had the Ryzen's set to gaming mode. And you don't do that on the Ryzen CPUs because what that is doing, it's basically disabling 2 cores and 4 threads. So you're crippling the
for higher
CPU.
clock speeds on your primary cores because most games don't run off of many core or extra.
Now, in some games, you
Or
will
the-
see a gain for that. But for most games, it's better to just not have it in gaming mode.
Right.
So
But when
that's-
benchmarking, you never want to do that
Yeah.
because
So-
benchmarks take into account every core most of the time, unless you look specifically for single ones, which are out there. That's
So
if I'm incorrect, correct me. But
So problem 2, okay. They had the Ryzen 2700X running off the stock cooler. The Intel CPUs were using an Octua cooler, which is a far better cooler. So guess which one's probably gonna fucking throttle a little bit more? The Ryzen one, because it's using a shittier fucking cooler. That's not saying the stock cooler's bad on the Ryzen CPU, but it's not as good as an Octua cooler. And Ryzen is a CPU that really works best with good airflow, good cooling.
yeah,
It also works best when the timings aren't fucked with for the RAM. Not the RAM speed, though that is a factor. I think they only had it at what, like, was it 2900 megahertz?
I don't know.
I think it's 2900.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad for Ryzen. But what they did do is they went in and fucked with the timings on the RAM itself. And that's something that can severely fucking cripple Ryzen.
Yeah,
So
we've
when they
seen a
released-
lot of that in testing.
So when they released the test, they released it before any of the third-party reviewers could look at it. Look at the CPU and benchmark it. So the only benchmarks that were out there were the ones that Intel put out from Principal Technologies. And what they showed was that it was, wow, it's like 40% better than the Ryzen 2700X. No, it's more like 18 to 20% better. It's only like 8% better than the fucking 8700K, if I remember correctly. It's not double digits better than the 8700K. I know that.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have to question, why did they fucking do that? Why did they release this fucking benchmark before anyone else could release their benchmarks? Obviously, they wanted to fucking boost the i9-9900K to try to justify the price, I guess, maybe?
Yeah, that's definitely possible, but I mean, it's not like people weren't gonna find out
Oh,
that
no,
they fucking skewed the test.
they got called
And
out, like, immediately.
yeah, very quickly, within hours, if it was even that long. And the thing is, like, that really makes me question Intel's integrity as a company. Like, you know, and
Wait, that's what broke
I'm not
that?
saying the whole company's, well, it doesn't fucking help, you know. And a lot of people, don't track, like, they aren't constantly on the radar for tech stuff, you know, so they don't see a lot of the other shit. Like, it's like Apple, like, a lot of people don't know much about the company and like what they do and on the side and shit. Like, they just buy the products and fucking move on with their life. But this actually made big press, and this was very visible to a lot of people. So
Yeah,
it's
I mean, it was a big fucking deal last week.
yeah, it's still like I'm still seeing shit about
yeah.
it.
And
In
to be fair
the
to
communities that I follow that deal with that shit, you know.
Yeah, and to be
It's
fair to
blown over for the
Principal,
most part, but
Technologies, they did go back and they corrected some of the things. They turned
yeah,
gaming mode off,
they did do another release.
and guess what
So
happened when they turned gaming mode off? Ryzen
close the
scores
gap quite a bit. Yeah,
went up quite a bit,
yeah.
and that fucking 30% fucking gap closed really quick. I mean, it's still the i9-9900K. God, there's too many fucking nines in that. Jesus Christ. Who do we talk?
Yeah, I know.
Who do we talk to about fucking changing their naming scheme? Holy shit.
Well, I've covered that in an earlier video, and they've been doing it for like 20 fucking years. So I don't think we're gonna have. I don't think that matters. I don't think they give a shit.
Of course they don't. You mentioned Apple.
But
Can we talk about what Apple did?
oh, what?
Oh, you
Wait,
hear
what did they
Apple
do
did?
now? No,
So
I don't think
you know
so.
Louis Rossman.
I might.
You know Louis Rossman, right?
Yes, I think so.
You know he's one of the guys that I sent you a video of him fixing shit and talking about Apple.
Yeah, yep, yeah, I know which one it was. I had to think for a second, but I knew the name sounded familiar. I got it now. Yep.
So a shipment of MacBook batteries that he ordered got hold on, I'll find it. I might be able to find an article about it.
All right. He's got really good content,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah,
Actually, we should.
Let's
We
plug
can.
Louis Rossman real quick, cause
Yeah, wink his shit in the fucking thing when we.
yeah, hold on, I got him right here. I'm just gonna pull up his YouTube channel real quick.
Here's
There
how
you
I
go.
created my stunning Wix site.
Oops, shit, I did not
With
want to
Wix?
put that though. So, Louis Rossman orders batteries for a MacBook, for an
Right.
old MacBook, for a MacBook that Apple doesn't fucking repair anymore because they think it's vintage.
So it's like 2 years old.
So Customs takes the shipment and sends him a fucking notice. Hold on.
Tired of cleaning your
I'm gonna go ahead
gutters?
and play a little
We'll
bit of
clean
the
your
video.
gutters, realign, and seal them from leaks,
All right,
and
go
install
for
our
it.
award-winning gutter guard. Get leak filter, and never hire a gutter.
And just to help him out, I also clicked on the ad.
Hi. A few days ago, we published a piece with CBC that showcased how the Apple Store was trying to charge somebody between $1,200 to $2,000 for a machine that needed nothing other than an LCD display cable because somebody had accidentally bent it, most likely while trying to install their own screen. Here, just a few days later, crazy coincidence, imagine that, is that I had my parts seized by Customs. So let's just go over this letter where they explain to me why Apple and Customs seized batteries to a computer that at their store they will no longer service because they claim it's vintage. Yes, that's correct. A machine that you...
Now, I think the timing on this is odd, by the way, that Customs sees these batteries, because he just appeared in a news segment for the CBC in Canada, talking about Apple ripping off their customers. And then, like, 2 weeks later, this happens. Do you think that's related at all, or...?
Can't say for sure, man. Actually, my windshield just got stuck at Customs, and that was I don't know. That shit happens a lot.
But the reason it was stuck at Customs
But-
was because the batteries are counterfeit.
Oh, well then. That's interesting.
They're refurbished batteries, but they're...
Are they refurbed or are they counterfeit? So let's clarify, because this is Apple, so...
Yeah, well, Apple
feel like
says
we-
anything that...
Distinction.
Well, Apple thinks anything that doesn't come from them directly is counterfeit.
Right, exactly.
Under that, yes, these are counterfeit. But under normal
Okay.
people standards, no, these are just refurbed batteries.
Okay, gotcha.
These are batteries
What
to
a
a
check.
fucking device that they don't fucking support anymore.
Alright.
So
Oh,
why are these
jeez.
being seized?
That's a good question.
Because Apple, that's the fucking answer.
Yeah.
And why? I
That's
don't want to
bullshit.
talk about fucking Apple every fucking week, but they keep doing shit that makes me have to talk about them, and that's more agitating than actually talking about them sometimes. It's
Yeah,
just like
Apple
a fucking...
They just go.
I mean, the only thing that... I think we talked about this in the fucking whole episode we dedicated to Apple. Name me something that Apple's invented in the last 20 years.
Still got nothing, man. That's not gonna change.
Hold on, there are things. Do you want to know one of the things that they invented? A
What's
special
that?
screw, so you can't get into your iPhone.
Oh yeah, there's that. Okay.
That's what they're fucking focused on.
Yeah.
I mean, we
No,
looked
that-
at their shit. What, I don't know how many episodes ago,
Such a garbage company.
and half their fucking devices are using old generation Intel CPUs. Like I saw some from like fucking Skylake. That was like 3 generations ago.
Yeah, it's insane.
Gotta love Apple.
I'm not surprised though. I'm really not.
I'm not either.
I've just come to expect that shit from them.
Yeah. Gotta love Apple, eh? Everyone
Shit. What
loves
else?
Apple.
Do we have anything else for the tech portion? I'm trying to think.
No, I think that's it, man.
No, I think we got
We hit
everything
the-
covered.
Yep. So you had something
Yeah.
you want to talk about?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do. I've got one. So, okay, here's a little backstory. I don't have the names well, obviously, like the names were changed and shit. But I found an interesting article. I guess this happened in the States fairly recently. I'm just within the last couple months or so, and they just went through a court proceeding. And essentially what had happened was a woman took a man to court for rape, right? And she turns out to be a prostitute. And this comes up in the court proceeding, obviously. And the court, they did not sentence him, or they did not charge him with rape. They actually they got him on theft of services and put him away for 6 months. How do you feel about that? Do you think the court made the right call going with theft of services
I
instead of
think it made
rape,
a hilarious
or I
I
mean
think they made a great. Just
it
for
makes
the
sense.
comedy level of it.
Like,
Come on, that's funny. I don't give a shit.
it
Also,
does make sense going that direction.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm sorry?
Chat, don't worry about it, friend.
Oh, okay.
That's it. You're back to Officer Doofy. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep. Congrats.
But
Enjoy.
yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think the court made the right call, or you think that they're like somehow negatively affecting women's rights or something? You know, like
Or something.
I don't know. I'm just...
I don't even know how to fucking respond to that. I really don't. Like that
That's-
seems like something that'd be in like a fucking comedy movie. That's
I
not
know.
real. That can't be
Yeah.
real. That's not a real thing, right?
It happened. Yeah, it was an actual event that took place.
There was that video, like 2
So
weeks ago of the fucking lady in Russia like pouring bleach on people in the subway who were manspreading. That turned out to be fake. Are you sure this is real?
that from what I understand, yeah.
Because it's
And the reason the courts had to justify it as, or they couldn't justify it as rape is because she consented during the act, and after the fact decided that it was rape due to the fact that he did not pay, which makes it stolen service, not rape,
I'm sorry.
because she did consent. That's their justification. That's the court's justification.
Dalby,
that's-
thanks for the follow.
That's how they're. I'm sorry.
Dalby followed, so I had to throw out a thank you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, appreciate that, man. But I don't know. I think it's a pretty fucking crazy issue. Like I've never heard of anything else like this happening. I don't know that they prosecuted her for
For prostitution.
yeah, I'm not sure if
that'd be such a bitch. Oh,
I'm not sure if the guy
suing you
pressed
for fucking
charges or
rape.
the city did, but
That
But
would
yeah,
be, that'd be like the ultimate twist of fate. But no, I don't
I
know
found it really interesting. It makes sense to me.
No,
and
it makes sense, but at the same time,
Okay,
it's fucking
I get it,
weird.
but at the same time, like people are pissed because they're saying that her rights were violated and that she was raped, and
But she consented to. Okay,
But
we're gonna
she
have sex, but you're
consented.
gonna pay me money afterwards, right? And then
right.
I totally get her like, well, fuck this guy, he didn't pay. But to me, that's not rape.
That's not rape, in my opinion. No, it's.
Maybe I guess I'm not.
I mean, that's
someone who
like-
can have an opinion on that. Can I?
I don't know.
I don't
Like
know,
that's
is
where
there a
I'm
council
like
that
I'm
we go
always
to?
afraid to talk about this because I don't want to be attacked for
I'm ready.
fucking. But no, I don't know, man. Fucking. That's where I'm at with it. My thing is like, consent is a very complicated matter in the first place, and
Yeah.
if you've got, because like if you're drunk, right? Like say you're a drunk guy, right? And you have
I've never
sex
done that.
with a woman. Yeah, I haven't either. That's stupid. But
Alcohol, poopy.
say you're drunk and you have sex with a woman, and then she comes back and she's like, "Oh well, I was drunk too. I didn't consent because you can't consent when you're drunk. You're not a fucking solid state of mind." So, like, is it just the first one to the phone at that point? Like, can the guy also pick up the phone and be like,
Actually,
"I was drunk"?
Now that you mention
you know,
it, I do remember something like a couple months ago where this guy preemptively filed Title IX on this girl because he thought she was going to do it. I think that's because apparently she had done that to one of his friends, and then they had sex, and then he's like, "Oh shit! Well, I'm going to get her before she gets me." Which is, I think that's a great society to live in. I think we should do that. As long as you shoot first, it's okay.
I don't know, man. Well,
Of course, I'm being a smartass. I don't. Hey, I don't know. Consent is fucking weird. I don't know where is the line.
I have no idea.
Are we even
Um,
capable of finding like? To me, it's like
As people, I don't think so. No. Well, I don't think our society is capable of making that call anymore.
well, apparently not because
Nobody's reasonable enough to fucking it's. we're in a spot at this point that I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Well, I think that's gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
think
I don't
of
have anything
course.
else. Something to think about, but
Yep. Well,
let us know what you guys want to see. More tech stuff. We're always down to do that for sure. Any good products coming out maybe we haven't seen or whatever. Something besides processors and graphics cards. Fucking maybe a new cooling. So yeah,
Yeah.
shoot us.
Something.
Let us know.
Anyway, next
Uh,
episode,
What do we got next week?
probably nothing. We'll figure
We'll
it out. as we
figure
go,
it
man.
out. So we're trying to come up with some more structured
Oh,
content.
Actually,
and,
I know exactly. So next week we're gonna find out if the guy who wrote Peter Pan was a pederast.
I don't
Should
know
be
what that
fun.
is.
A pederast?
Yeah.
Someone who pedos asses, dude. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. The voice is throwing me off, man. Like, I'm fucking having a hell of a time. Alright, anyway. Yeah. No, just let us know and we'll fucking come up with something.
Righto.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.